Good evening, gentlemen. Right now, close your eyes metaphorically, since this is YouTube. Feel your chest expanding, take a deep breath, and think of one tiny action you can take immediately after watching this video. Comment what it is below. That step, no matter how small, is the first richest step into your power. You know, there's a fire inside every single one of us. Most people spend their lives waiting for someone else to light it, waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for the right time. But that fire is already there. It's your purpose, your reason, your drive. The truth is, until you connect with that deep reason, that unstoppable why, you'll always find yourself drifting. You'll push for a while, you'll fight for a while, but the moment things get tough, the moment the resistance shows up, and it always does, you'll find yourself backing away, and that's because willpower alone doesn't last. Discipline without purpose becomes torture. Success without meaning becomes empty. What lasts, what endures, what makes you unshakable is when you anchor into your why. Think about the moments in your life where you absolutely refused to give up. It could have been when someone told you that you weren't good enough, or when your family depended on you, or when your back was against the wall and quitting wasn't an option. What happened in those moments? You tapped into something deeper. It wasn't just about you anymore. It was about what you stood for, who you loved, what you refused to let go of. That's the fuel that doesn't burn out. That's the power source that will push you through fear, through doubt, through rejection, through failure. The problem for most people is not that they're weak. It's that they're not connected. They chase surface goals. I want more money. I want a better body. I want freedom. And that's fine, but those are outcomes. The real drive is what those outcomes mean to you. More money might mean dignity for your family. A better body might mean you finally feel alive and confident. Freedom might mean you can finally give your children the opportunities you never had. When you connect to that deeper meaning, suddenly the weight of discipline becomes lighter. Suddenly, you can stay awake an extra hour, push through that last rep, make that uncomfortable phone call, because it's not about the task anymore, it's about the mission. Every person who's ever transformed their life has done it by anchoring to a cause bigger than themselves. The parent who worked 3 jobs didn't do it because they loved the grind. They did it because they couldn't look their child in the eye and say, I gave up. The athlete who kept training after losing didn't do it for the applause. They did it because they knew what victory symbolized. The proof that nothing is stronger than the human spirit. The entrepreneur who built something from nothing didn't do it because it was easy. They did it because they refused to die with their potential trapped inside them. When you anchor into your why, you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop looking for shortcuts. Stop bargaining with your dreams. Stop lowering your standards to match your mood. Instead, you start raising your energy to match your vision. Every time fear whispers in your ear, your why shouts louder. Every time fatigue sets in, your why reminds you why you started. Every time you hit a wall, your why shows you a way through, a way over, or a way around. And here's the secret: your why isn't found in comfort. It's revealed in pressure. It's born in struggle. It's discovered when you dare to ask yourself, what do I care about so much that I'm willing to go through pain for it? Because that's the test. Your true why is always tied to sacrifice. If it's not worth sacrificing for, it's not strong enough. But once you find that reason, that fire, you become unstoppable. Suddenly, the obstacles are still there, but you've grown bigger than the obstacles. The pain is still real, but it's no longer enough to make you quit. So right now, don't just think about what you want. Ask yourself why you want it. What's behind the desire? What's the real heartbeat underneath the surface goal? If you say you want success, why? If you say you want freedom, why? If you say you want to make an impact, why? Keep asking until you hit that emotional nerve, the one that makes your chest tighten, the one that brings tears to your eyes. That's the one, that's the anchor, that's the why. Because the day you connect to that force, you'll never wake up the same again. You won't need motivation, you'll be pulled by something greater. You won't need someone to remind you. You'll feel it in every cell of your body, and when you face the storm, you won't shrink back. You'll step forward, fueled, focused, fearless. That's the power of anchoring into your why. It's not just about building a life, it's about building a legacy, a reason so strong that nothing can stand in your way. You can have the best idea in the world, the most beautiful vision, the clearest goal written down on your wall. But if you don't move, if you don't act, nothing changes. The difference between those who dream and those who live their dreams isn't knowledge, it isn't talent, it isn't even luck. It's action, and not random action, not once in a while action. It's massive, consistent action that builds momentum, breaks barriers, and creates results. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year if they just stayed consistent. They start strong, they're excited for a week, maybe a month, then life gets heavy, distractions pile up, and they slow down. And every time they stop, they have to restart. That stop hand go kills more dreams than failure ever could, because the truth is, you don't fail because you try. You fail because you quit trying. Consistency isn't glamorous, but it's what separates the few who achieve from the many who wish. Think of a rocket launching into space. Most of its fuel is burned just to break free from the pull of gravity. That's how it works in life. The beginning feels heavy. The first calls you make, the first workouts you do, the first risks you take. They drain you, they test you, they make you question if it's even worth it. But if you stay consistent, you eventually break through that pull, and suddenly momentum starts carrying you. What was once impossible begins to feel natural. The weight that crushed you yesterday becomes your warm-up today. And it's not just about working hard for a week or two. It's about conditioning yourself to act regardless of how you feel. If you only act when you feel motivated, you'll never create greatness. Motivation is a spark, but consistency is the engine. The key is to decide, I'm going to do this no matter what. You don't negotiate with your goals. You don't ask yourself every morning, do I feel like it? You simply do it because that's who you are now. You take the action until the action becomes part of your identity. Massive action means doing more than what feels comfortable. It means you don't just make one call, you make 50. You don't just go to the gym once, you build it into your daily rhythm. You don't just post one idea online, you keep creating until the world can't ignore you. Consistent action stacks up, and soon it compounds. One day of action doesn't change your life, but 1,000 days of consistent action makes you unrecognizable. And here's the truth, you're going to stumble, you're going to miss days, you're going to fall short sometimes. That's not failure. Failure is staying down. Success is built on falling and getting back up, over and over again. The difference between the person who wins and the one who doesn't is simply that one got up one more time. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. When you commit to massive, consistent action, you start rewiring your brain. You stop being the kind of person who says, I'll try. You become the kind of person who says, I will. And the world starts responding differently to you. Opportunities begin to open, not because they weren't there before, but because now you're moving and you can see them. Doors unlock because you kept knocking. Bridges appear because you kept walking. Every great leader, every athlete, every innovator, what do they have in common? They didn't stop. They showed up day after day when it wasn't convenient, when it wasn't exciting, when it wasn't easy. They built momentum, and momentum is the most powerful force in your life. Once you have it, you're hard to stop. It's like riding a bike downhill. You don't have to pedal as hard anymore. Movement carries you. That's what massive, consistent action creates. So here's the decision. You can keep waiting for the perfect time, or you can create the time by acting now. You can keep wishing for momentum, or you can start building it with one small step today. Don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for certainty. Don't wait for the right mood. Just act. Act so boldly, so consistently, that the world can't help but adjust to your movement. Because at the end of the day, life doesn't reward intentions. It rewards execution. The people who live their dreams are not the ones who hope most, but the ones who acted the most, and that can be you. Decide right now that hesitation is over, that inconsistency is over, that this is the moment you step forward with massive, consistent action. Do it today, do it tomorrow, and keep doing it until the results show up, because they will. Every single one of us carries a story. Some chapters are beautiful, filled with triumph, love, joy. Others are heavy, painful, marked with disappointment, betrayal, or loss. And most people let those painful chapters define the rest of their lives. They look at their scars as proof they're broken. They repeat the same words in their head. I can't because of what happened. But the truth is, your past is not your prison. It's your training ground. The pain you went through is not meant to chain you. It's meant to sharpen you. The past is not happening to you anymore. It's already over. The only way it still controls you is if you keep reliving it the same way. The moment you choose to reframe it, you change the meaning. And when you change the meaning, you change your life. Think about it. Two people can go through the exact same event. One person crumbles and says, "This ruined me," while the other says, "This made me stronger." It wasn't the event that decided their future. It was the meaning they gave it. That's the power you have right now. You cannot rewrite the event, but you can rewrite the way you interpret it. And that interpretation shapes your emotions, your actions. Your destiny, maybe someone abandoned you, maybe you failed big, maybe you were hurt in ways you didn't deserve. If you look at that and say, "I'm broken because of this," you will live as a victim of your history. But if you look at it and say, "Because of this, I learned resilience. Because of this, I became wiser. Because of this, I know what love really means, what strength really feels like," then suddenly the same story empowers you instead of imprisoning you. Your past is raw material. It's clay in your hands. You can mold it into a chain that keeps you stuck, or you can mold it into a foundation that makes you unshakable. Every struggle gave you tools: discipline, empathy, courage, creativity. But most people never pick those tools up because they're too focused on the pain instead of the lesson. You have to decide, are you going to stare at the wound, or are you going to use the scar as proof that you heal? When you look back at your hardest moments, you survived them. You are here breathing, listening, which means you made it through. That alone proves you're stronger than you think. And if you can survive that, what else can you survive? What else can you overcome? Every failure you've ever had gave you feedback. Every rejection showed you a new direction. Every loss taught you what truly matters. The moment you see your past as preparation, not punishment, it becomes fuel for your future. And don't think reframing means pretending it didn't hurt. It means honoring the fact that it did hurt, but refusing to let the pain be the final word. It means saying, "Yes, that happened. Yes, it was hard, but I am more than that event. I am the meaning I choose to create out of it." That's power, that's freedom. Look at the greatest stories of transformation in history. The people who inspire us the most are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who went through fire and turned it into fuel. The ones who fell and, instead of staying down, they stood up with new wisdom. Their past didn't destroy them. It became their message, their drive, their reason to rise. So ask yourself, what event are you still holding onto as a curse that could become your gift if you reframed it? What story are you repeating that weakens you, that could strengthen you if you told it differently? The power to shift is in your hands. You can keep saying, "I am this way because of what happened," or you can declare, "I am stronger because of what I've overcome." From this moment forward, don't let your past use you. Don't let it drag you backward. Don't let it define your ceiling. Use it. Use it to remind yourself of your strength. Use it to fuel your hunger. Use it to create empathy and connection with others. Use it as proof that you are capable of rising again and again, because your past is not a life sentence. It's a launchpad. It's not a weight on your shoulders. It's the fire in your belly. The events are fixed, but the meaning is yours to choose. And once you decide to reframe it, your past no longer limits you. It propels you. The power is already there. It's time to use it. Every result in your life is a reflection of the identity you hold about yourself. You can set goals, you can make plans, you can even change your habits temporarily. But if your identity stays the same, the results will always pull back to match it. People say, "I'm trying to quit smoking," or "I'm trying to be healthier," "I'm working on being confident." Listen to the words. When you say "I'm trying," you're already admitting you don't see yourself as that person yet. You're chasing the outcome, but you haven't stepped into the identity. Real, lasting transformation happens the moment you stop saying "I'm trying," and you declare, "This is who I am." Identity is the most powerful force in human behavior. You will always act in alignment with who you believe you are. If you see yourself as someone who always quits, you'll find a way to quit again. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, you'll keep struggling, but the moment you shift and say, I am unstoppable, I am disciplined, I am the kind of person who follows through, suddenly your actions change because your self-image demands it. The standard rises automatically. You don't have to push yourself as much because the new identity pulls you forward. Think about it. If you identify as an athlete, do you need motivation to work out? No, it's who you are. If you identify as a leader, do you need to remind yourself to take responsibility? No, you just do it because that's your nature. The moment you create an identity of empowerment, your behaviors align with it without constant effort. It becomes automatic. It becomes natural. It becomes you. Most people live trapped in the identities someone else gave them. A teacher told them they weren't smart. A parent told them they were lazy. A failure convinced them they weren't capable. And they carried those labels like tattoos on their soul. But hear this. Clearly, your past identity is not permanent. You can rewrite it at any moment. You can rip off the old labels and choose new ones. You can say, that's who I was, but this is who I am now. The key is to decide what kind of person you want to be and begin acting as if it's already true. If you want to be confident, stop waiting for confidence to arrive. Start standing tall. Start speaking with certainty. Start acting as a confident person would act. If you want to be disciplined, stop waiting for perfect willpower. Decide, I am disciplined, and then follow through on one commitment. Today, each action reinforces the identity, and each identity-driven action builds the muscle until it becomes your reality. This is not about faking. This is about creating. When you declare a new identity, you're not pretending. You're aligning with the version of yourself that already exists inside you. It's been there all along, waiting for you to claim it. And the more you live into it, the more evidence you build. Every time you take action as your empowered self, you're casting a vote for that identity. Do it enough times and soon the old version of you is unrecognizable. The question is, who do you want to be? Not just what do you want to have, but who do you want to become? Because outcomes without identity shifts are temporary. You can lose weight on a diet, but if your identity is still, I'm someone who struggles with health, the weight comes back. You can make money, but if your identity is I'm not good with finances, it disappears. Identity is the thermostat of your life. It always pulls you back to what you believe about yourself. Raise the thermostat and the whole room changes. So stop saying I'm trying. Stop saying I hope. Declare it now. I am powerful. I am capable. I am worthy. I am disciplined. I am unstoppable. Feel it in your body. Breathe it into your chest. Live it in your actions. Speak it until your nervous system believes it. Because when you create an identity of empowerment, everything in your life begins to shift to match it. The world doesn't respond to who you wish you were. It responds to who you believe you are. And the moment you decide to embody the strongest, boldest, most empowered version of yourself, people will treat you differently. Opportunities will open. Your energy will rise, and you will look back and realize the transformation wasn't about changing your circumstances. It was about changing you. From this day forward, don't settle for an identity that keeps you small. Create the one that unleashes you. Own it. Live it. Breathe it. Because the most powerful decision you will ever make is the one where you finally decide, this is who I am now. And once you claim that, nothing can stop you. So stand up metaphorically. Pull that invisible lever, step into your ultimate power. Let every obstacle become your fuel. Let every moment echo I am. The only thing between where you are and where you are meant to be is that one decision to act, believe, and to own your power. Thank you.